Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Good to see you today. So I hope that today will be a very interesting, fun, and fulfilling session for you. Thank you for tuning in on a Saturday afternoon. I'm really over the moon to see that you are here with me in this webinar as I chose to build my community with you. Okay, so please enjoy and participate, chill, have a drink, take a snack. There's a Q&A button here. You can type your questions, especially for our guest speaker later, or if you have any for me, I'll be happy to take them. And for your information, this session is recorded. Okay, so let's begin. So we only have a short 45 minutes. So the first question of the afternoon would be, do you want to live to 100? Let's do a poll session now. Okay, you could see on your screen. The answer is just a yes, no, or maybe. I appreciate if you can just take a second to key in your answer so that we can have a gauge of how you are feeling this afternoon. Okay, we're just waiting for a while more. Very happy to see my many friends here with me this afternoon. Okay, so we are shutting soon. In 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Are you excited about the results? Okay, here goes the results. So it's quite mixed, okay, but about higher percentage, 43%, do not want to live to 100, okay, with 21% saying maybe, and a 36% a strong yes. Okay, so there's no right and wrong answer here, so don't worry, you have feel free to express your views, okay? So the next question is another poll question. Okay, so which pillar is the most important to you? When we talk about pillar of support, these are the 4 main pillars that we are really looking at. So we have that for relationship, health and wellness, financial, and of course, career. Okay, so yes, please take some time to do a poll and lock in your answers. So remember there's no right and wrong. You are subject to your own thoughts. Okay, we're closing in a while more. Thank you for actively participating. Okay, we're waiting for a few more to come in. Thank you. Okay, closing in 3, 2, and 1. Thank you for waiting. Okay, and let's see the results. Wow, we have a lot of people focusing on health and wellness here. So good to know that. Okay, so you are very aware that of course health is wealth. Yeah, so keeping ourselves fit and healthy for our loved one is very important. Okay, the number 2 in rank is relationships, 56%. And then of course we have financial and career. Okay, so since you are very strong in your awareness in health and wellness, today's session, I'll choose to focus a little bit more on relationship and also on financial. Okay. So before we go on to the third question, I just want to launch a third poll, so 3 polls in a row. Okay, so voting is compulsory. Can you tell me how many people will be aged 65 and above in 2030? Okay, yes, I think many countries are approaching increasing lifespans, including, of course, Singapore. Okay, so aging population is very real. Let's look at the number. We're closing in 3, 2, and 1. Thank you. Okay, let's see the results. Okay, is it more than 1.1 million? Okay, so the answer is really is 900,000. Okay, 900,000. So yes, you are more advanced than the current research. So don't worry. Okay, that means you're very prepared. Okay, before I continue, I want to show you this research video that was conducted to prepare Singaporeans for longevity in Singapore. Please enjoy.
I would definitely like to live until 100.
Oh God, no, definitely not.
Yes, I wish to live to 100.
I think my life is pretty intense. I always feel like I'm not going to live to a very old age.
I feel very ambivalent about the whole idea of living to 100.
If I had a chance, I would absolutely love to live as long as I could.
If you're telling me today that I am going to live to 100, I think I'll start thinking a lot more about building my network and building my support group, because I feel like that's very important.
After I retire, it will be time for me and my husband, who I've really neglected the past 5 years.
I'm only 25, but all 4 of my grandparents have passed on. And they passed on mostly due to a number of diseases, so I don't have very high hopes for myself.
I would ideally want to have a good 20, 30 years of health when I retire.
When I reach about 50, how am I going to live until the next phase of my life? So I start to run. To date, I completed 102 marathons.
I have to prepare myself now, that is by exposing myself to different kinds of activities, physical activities.
There is a saying in Chinese, health is wealth.
I don't even know if I have enough to live till 40, so much less 100.
I'm kind of thinking more about the next phase of my life, which is just saving, to kind of start home ownership and things like that. My brother has had this conversation with me where he's like, do you know how much you're saving? Do you know how much you're spending? And if you want to have another baby, do you know how much it costs? I definitely do think about what I want my life to be like and what the steps I need to do in order to get there.
I feel that I'm fortunate enough in that my parents have said that they won't rely on me in their older age. They said that as long as I'm good, they're good.
My parents are absolutely, they've made the right investment decisions, and they have the right savings to be able to self-sustain themselves. But, it's something that I would like to have the ability to help them when the need arises.
Work is part and parcel of living a good life, I think. And work is about finding what we are meant to do as individuals in this life. And once we find that, there's never one day that work ends.
After stepping into retirement years, I think I should plan for another stage of life, that is to enjoy myself.
I don't think I've set an age that I want to retire at. I feel like I don't subscribe to anyone should retire by 65 or be it 70 or whatever age that people say we should all retire at.
I'm now 88, coming to 89. I'm still doing business. It's keep me going.
In parkour, we have a saying, opportunities, not obstacles. We see the obstacles as an opportunity to get stronger rather than as something that blocks us from doing what we want to do.
Hope you enjoyed the video. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. Okay, it's very interesting to see the different viewpoints of how they feel about the 4 pillars of living to 100. So you can see that, of course, I think the realization for me is if you think you're going to live to 100, then of course, if you're at the 50-year-old mark, the good news is you're only halfway through. So you still have another halfway to go. Okay, so I really look up to the gentleman who has run in excess of 100 marathons. So life is really a marathon. So I hope we can continue on this journey together. Okay, and to see, of course, how far we can go with one another. I think it's very important. My simple philosophy of life is really to Chinese saying, 修身齐家治国平天下. It's always to start with myself, how I can improve and better myself. Okay, before I look into managing my own families, and then of course to build communities, and then aspiring towards making the world a better place for everyone, and that no one get left behind. So this is my family at home. You can see this is my husband, Clifford. I think many of you have seen him. He's working in the same organization with me in Prudential, and he's also my rock at home and at work as well. So sometimes people ask me, is it healthy to work and live together? I would say a strong yes to that, simply because I think we spend a lot more time at work sometimes. Okay, so it's good to have each other to know what our work entails. And then of course, I have my 2 children here. So many of you will have seen them before when they were younger. So Ashley is now 17 and Isaac is 14. So they are all catching up with me in terms of height as well. So yes, they are growing well. And of course, we aspire them to become a person of value and purpose. So many of you, like myself, are also looking to how you can give your best to the family. Yeah, I think this is a common thought and a common situation that every one of us is pursuing to better the situation right at home. Okay, and of course, I'm glad they went to work in my friend's restaurant this December holiday. Upon getting their first holiday paycheck, the children actually initiated to buy lunch for their grandparents and even to give them a little red packet. Yeah, so I'm glad to see this going on. And of course, I endeavor that this can continue, okay, to know that in the right direction. And of course, looking at my family at work, it will include all of you here who are my beloved clients. Okay, it will include also my team, my consultants, my team of consultants at Prudential. Okay, so this is us packing the goodie bag for the Kickstart Health to give back to the families of lower income group. Okay, and of course, we are all talking about how we can build stronger and better communities together. Okay, so this is still, I think, the level that I would like to achieve is how we can have more inclusive communities that everyone can serve and work at. Okay, because I believe a lot about integrating my family and work as well. As far as possible, my family do come to many of my work events. They know what I'm doing. I let them know how my day is, and of course what I learn every day from my workplace. And the integration is important so that I am aware that I'm spending a good, relevant, or enough time, quality time at work as well as at home. Okay, because again, the truth is that we do spend 5 working days, and there's only 2 weekends, right? So we really need to integrate them well so that we can be fairer to our family at home. And reaching out to the parenting community, Prudential has many resources. Okay, and this is a complimentary resource that I'm also charging trained and like to call out to all children 7 to 12 years old. If you want to get into a financial literacy program, this is something that we can consider to do together in this community. So you can also become a volunteer to spread this money smart skill for children, which are very impressionable at this age. And of course, this is a webinar that was done in the primary school. You can see that the children, the P2 students, okay, but they are really so lively and so vibrant, and they are very participative as well and enthusiastic, even though it's a webinar setting. So when I said, okay, let's take a picture, they were all standing up and waving their hands. So that's good to see our coming generation as well. So I also like to take this time to bring on my band. I have a cha-ching band, okay, and I like to bring on.
Does money come from? Well, it starts like after mint, where it goes through a printing stint. Then it's spread throughout the country to the bank or ATM. Then it makes its way to you, my friend. You can earn, save, spend, and donate. This moves our money round at a supersonic rate. Yeah, we want to earn, save, spend, and donate. To open up a world of possibilities. Let me introduce myself. Prudence is my name. My big tip is let good planning be your aim.
Hi, my name is Bobby, and I'm just a bit confused. My hard-earned cash I always tend to lose. To the busy bee, that is what my friends call me. I work hard to save, that's what I love to do.
Hi, my name is Pepper. I love to spend and spend, especially on the weekend with my friends.
Earn, save, spend, and donate.
These are decisions that we all have to make. From the day the bank notes made to the day that we get paid. Your money moves to and fro, but you have choices, don't you know?
We've all got such different needs, gonna spend, save, and different speeds.
Let's think about our money.
When we have it in our hands, it is good to understand that we can
Earn, save, spend, donate our money. Well, you can do what you please, but we are here to make the choices like these. Hey, my name is Charity. I love to help a friend in need, and the message giving money always stands.
Justin is my name, and making money is my game. My ideas are big, and so's my earning too.
You can earn, save, spend, and donate. These are decisions that we all have to make. We want to earn, save, spend, and donate. To open up a world of possibility. To open up a world of possibility.
So that's where it's been.
I hope you like the touching video. Okay, you will see that it's really very fun and very interactive when we play the videos, and then we have a lot of activities and workbook, you know, for them to think about budgeting, like how to plan their bedrooms, whether it's a needs or want, and when they want to buy something, to think about it before they make this money making, or rather money spending or saving decisions. Yeah, so these are very, very fun session that I like to bring to the community. So especially parenting, right? Because I know as a working mom as well, so there's a lot of challenges that we face as well, to have multiple roles that we need to play for our children at home, and also the wider community. So sometimes, to getting the children involved in this, I think it's a good help. So let me know if you would like to look into this parenting community that I'm looking to set up. Okay, we are at the main topic for today, which is the Ready for 100. So Ready for 100 is the Ready for 100 years old, to live to that age, and can we save towards 100 years old as well. So as lifespan increasing, okay, with lifespan increase, and of course, Singaporeans are definitely thinking hard about how we can continue to live well and do better, okay, and in a dignified way and with more secure measures, okay, so that we can outlive this good life that we have and make it work. So the number of age over 65 will hit 900,000 by 2030. Okay, and of course, this is a rising number for people going to 100 years old as well. Okay, so with these increasing numbers, living longer would also mean that it's basically just like how you're feeling. It's something that maybe you're not looking very forward to, because the survey that we done also show that 54% are not willing to really look ahead to live to 100. Maybe they are a bit fearful, or they don't even want to think about it. Okay, so this remains a problem, especially in Singapore, where all of us understand the importance of savings and being able to have enough voluntary saving and to be able to be sustainable on ourselves, because there's no welfare community out here. So everybody is contributing to your own basket. So when this number, it also means that a large portion are really not financially ready for longevity. Okay, so why are Singaporeans not ready about longevity? Basically, if you really look into it, there is some key responsibility that we need to highlight. Okay, again, for this longevity to be a positive experience, we will need to build on 4 main areas of our life that will contribute to the length as well as the qualities of the living that we are in. Okay, looking at finances, looking at career and skills, looking at health and wellness, as well as relationship. Okay, so these remain the main 4 pillars that we are building day in, day out. Okay, and I hope that by building communities, we are actually in the relationship quadrant as well. So on finances, when you take a look at it, so a study on how Singaporeans are managing their wealth for the increasing lifespan. So this is the data collected from the 1,200 respondents, okay, to represent the current Singapore economy. So can Singaporeans afford longevity? Okay, at this point in time, maybe we do another poll. Okay, to see whether can Singaporeans afford longevity here. Do you think that is something that we can all be confident about? Is it extremely confident or somewhat confident? Okay, thank you for being so participative. Okay, thank you. So ending the poll soon. Give it another 3 seconds. Okay, thank you. So let's see the results. Okay, so yes, 88% is somewhat confident. So we have a much higher percentage here. So this is exactly how the respondents are feeling in the survey that was done as well, that they are not very confident about longevity issue. Only 1 in 2 are confident of having enough savings. Okay, so you will see that the extremely confident 1 in 2. So we are still somewhat, I would say, quite a prudent saver nation. Okay, however, there is definite stress that come from family responsibility that could somewhat impact on our saving behavior as well. This stress is felt most in the age group 25 to 34 years old. Okay, especially the expectation to financially support their elderly parents. So almost, we will say 9 in 10, definitely they feel the responsibility, yet of course the stress that comes along with it as well. Okay, so though they think it's important, but definitely it's stressful to think about it, being a sandwich generation, to be able to cater to parents as well as to be catering to children. Okay, that's the most stressful group. I've been through that stage as well. Okay, so this is something that's very real. So with changing lifestyles and aspiration, so this has also impacted how the confidence to save. Okay, and many are also planning to take career breaks in pursuit of their own passion. Okay, so this is another problem, because though they are feeling stressful probably, so they need to be able to take more frequent breaks from work. Okay, so when they go towards travel or caring for families or even to upskill themselves. Okay, so all these are probably sometimes a solutioning that they need to resort to in order to run this marathon. Okay, so all these will further impact on the changing lifestyle. Okay, so as they're taking more career break for this purpose, it also means that their own milestone will be much delayed. Okay, so many are also postponing, okay, their life milestone like marriages and also childbirth, okay, in having a family. Okay, so this is a trend that is happening currently as well. Okay, as we all know that we are moving away from the traditional school model of just having to study and then work all the way to retirement. As we are now evolving to living for longer, we now need to know that we are into a multi-stage life, meaning that, as we study in the beginning of probably our first 20, 25 years, and then when we start working along the way, we will still want to take career breaks or to go back to school, okay, before we continue again our next second phase of career. Okay, so all these are becoming more and more usual. Okay, and of course, but being Singaporeans, we always still want to be very practical. We want to continue to be very financially prepared for the future. Okay, so therefore, how can we prepare for longevity financially? So this is also another important strategy that we want to look into. First and foremost is always using financial methods that we can diversify financial assets. So these are the current methods and tools that we are using, Singaporeans are using now, okay, to diversify more into, of course, we know that we all have CPF, and that will probably remain the main block because it's a compulsory section, okay, that we need to contribute to CPF for all employees, okay, optional for self-employed. Okay, but of course, the other thing is because we are very prudent savers, so we do have a lot of money sitting in a bank account. Okay, and other than that, the third common vehicle is always using the life insurance, okay, to ensure that the protection are also well done, okay, so that you won't go into any financial pitfall. Okay, so we also understand the importance of going to equities, going to investments of stocks and shares, okay, to get better rate of returns. Okay, so equities is also something that is on the rise. So the always interesting thing is talking about the annuity product. Okay, ever since I joined this business 20 years ago, it's always easier to talk to people about life insurance than about annuities, because people don't really want to plan for a long life, and they always feel that they could not live for very long. So maybe they don't need to plan for annuity. But I see that this trend is also increasing, okay, as more and more people are going into annuity planning, especially with the national education of the CPF savings that go into annuities as well. Okay, so 6 in 10 do agree that they need to do investment, okay, so that they could finance their own living condition as well. Okay, so this is the important part that they need to be aware of. Okay, so they have to make sure that their saving can last longer, and then they can go further. Okay, and of course, 1 in 4 will aspire to take career breaks to upskill and do reskilling. Okay, so this is again very common to go back to school. Okay, so we all know that by taking an active interest, okay, in managing our own finances, we can then be very prepared and very equipped to embrace what life presents, so that we can be ready to live fully to 100 years old. Okay, so the situation is always the first day that you start to work is always to plan for the last day that you want to stop working, so that when you plan early, you can plan for multi-stage, you can take a break when you need to do that. Okay, if not, then you can continue on different pursuit of interest, different career as well. Okay, managing financial assets is very important, because when we earn, remember the song, when we earn, we have to start to look into savings before we do spending. And then, of course, if we can, we do donation. Okay, so this is earn, save, and then we can invest. So these are part of money management portfolio, to be able to diversify as well when it comes to savings, you know, and importantly is to invest in yourself, to invest in sometimes your own interest and your own passion in creating a lasting hobby, something that you like to do. And you sometimes have to reward yourself by going to that, whether is it learning to draw or learning to sing. You know, it's always important that I feel that if we can take up a new skill, one new skill a year, okay, it will be very healthy for us to be able to move longer, okay, in our life journey. So, like, I also wanting to go into this, taking up a one skill a year, okay, because sometimes time just passes too fast, you know, and you don't want to be just embedded in doing what you are doing only. So the way to add interest and hobbies and passion into it can really make it more exciting. Then you have more things to look forward to. Okay. So as we look into financial, the other focus that we are looking at is also relationship. Okay, so this factor for relationship to prepare for longevity, I think is one of the most important. In fact, when we have a very strong support group or community, then we feel that we are doing more involved. When we are more involved, we are doing a bit more. And then it can really help us to help. When we start to reach out to the community to help other people, it helps us more in returns. Yeah, so this is something that is very true for myself. And I feel that it's something that I want to continue to build on. So when we talk about relationship, I think it's important that this white paper also shows that the infographic here shows that Singapore is definitely a very family-oriented society. So we do have very strong intergenerational ties. Okay, and we are very happy about you know, having family and support group. Okay, even though it may be a bit stressful when it comes to caretaking. Okay, however, we are not so much involved in community, other than immediate families, which is 62% and 47% involved in friend circle. The other 3 areas are a little bit lacking, especially that in professional community or even the larger community of whether it's religious or voluntary group. So these are the group that we probably need to heighten on to see where we can allocate our time, to spend our time more actively, to engage in different communities to stay active. You know, that's very important as well. So I'm very glad that Prudential has done many research and has many tools, and I've learned a lot in these 20 years in terms of the resources that rendered to continue the relationship. And one of the very effective one, I would say, is really how to reconnect on relationship in just 4 minutes. Yeah, so this is a study that was done, okay, and I find that this is a very meaningful studies, and something that you can apply almost immediately. Okay, so do watch this video with me, and we are ready to reconnect back on any relationship.
You know, when Keza got sick, right? When you got sick. Yeah, and then it was very difficult. I just didn't want you to go, and I was very scared.
Thank you, Jie, for looking after Dad. Okay, you are everything to him. I miss this thing. Coming.
Very important to me.
Emotional.
Very rarely we have this opportunity to stand side by side. So actually it's quite a very emotional moment because, you know, something that you want to treasure sometimes.
I feel like she loves me. Because at home she'll be like always scolding me.
That's love.
The
see my husband become old, I'm very happy with him.
I still love her because still young now.
He's still young. Irritating. So many years we never look into each other's eyes.
You've never done this
We
before.
used to talk, but not for so long.
I decided to give her a hug, which I had never done it before for a long time.
Oftentimes, when he sleeps, I pray over him. Just one thing that I can do as a mother.
It's during this moment that I realized that, like my father has actually aged a lot. So I feel that, we should really spend more time with our loved ones before they just leave, you see.
I can see that she cares for me very much. She loves me very much. And I think that's the most important thing.
Whenever I see this video, I still feel very emotional because, in fact, in everyday living, I'm very thankful that you have shared with me your love journey as well. It's very heartening when somebody say that you are very important to me. Okay, and I want to say this to you as my community in my workplace, as my family at work. You are very important to me, and I love you. Thank you. So this relationship reconnect is something that we can do with our loved ones, okay, to ensure that we are still there for them, not just physically, but of course emotionally. And of course, I believe that in building a community for support for better work and living. So you can see that we have many resources on a complimentary platform a lot of time. And I invite your good self to sign up for my Telegram channel. Use this platform to reach out to your own community as well, to spread the good words. Okay, so we also have this Pulse community that we just introduced. So you should know this is an AI app that talking about health and wellness channel as well. So something that you can look to update for existing user, or you can download accordingly. This is complimentary. And then the other one is, of course, the 6 months free coverage. So for all registrants, you are also entitled to this coverage if you want to register. So feel free to let me know. So it's totally free. You can just cancel it after 6 months. And this is just an initiative that the company had done that I think is important to let you know. So if you know of anybody who needs it, you can let me know as well. Of course, the other one is we are also looking for drivers to help deliver some hamper for this season. So we are looking at probably 28th December at 11 a.m. So if you can volunteer your time, let me know as well. We also want to create a volunteer community. So with so many community ongoing, I hope we can build a larger community. One of the guest speaker today is also someone that I'd like to introduce to our community. And he is Chef Daniel Tay. Okay, so he's already with us on the panel. And of course, you also know that he is the inspiration behind the Over the Moon cheesecake that you have been sending me texts and messages that it is really very delicious. And of course, to also go into the same mission and the message to provide something that is of quality, affordability, and sustainability. Okay, this is the shared value that I see together with Cat and Feeder. I'd like to invite Daniel with us.